I'm Sean Carroll, and this is me, written in ink. I have 7 tattoos. I have 1 on my wrist, and the rest are on my leg. The summer of my sophomore year, I just was not feeling it. And I'd always wanted to get a tattoo, so that's when I got my first tattoo here, the Trinity knot, or the triqueta, if you want me to be, professional here with my tattoo names. The tattoo means a lot of things. There's no real solid definition to what the Trinity knot really means. But for me, what I really believe in and how everything's connected is what I look at. When I see that Trinity knot, that's what I see, is how everything is connected. So that's why I got it. I'm excited to talk about this one. Sic mundus creatus est. It's Latin. I don't know if I did that Latin any justice, but it is Latin, and it's actually connected with the Trinity knot tattoo. That's why it's right underneath it. It means, and thus the world was created. And I think that saying, and thus the world was created, and the fact that I believe everything's connected, that to me is a big reason why they're together. But they're not actually together just because of that belief. There was a show I watched on Netflix that used heavy symbolism and religious symbolism, and they used the Trinity knot and that saying, this Latin saying. Shout out my friend Bob that watched the show at the same time as me. He was the one that said, dude, I love that saying. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it tattooed on my leg. Went into a tattoo shop and said, could you do this? They said, no problem, and I got it done. So this one I love, and it's one of my favorites. Here, it's just a black rose. There's a tattoo shop around me. Every Friday the 13th, they do the $20 tattoos, and I love it. They draw up a sheet, and they drew up this black rose, and I really liked it. The next one I got, this is actually a stick and poke. I did not get this at a tattoo shop. It's a smiley face or a frowny face, depending on how you're looking at it. I typically see a frowny face because of the angle I'm at, so I mean, that's kind of unfortunate for me, but for everybody else, they see a smiley face, so that's okay. That's perfectly fine with me. I'll do that trade any day. I'm actually a big fan of X's. That's why I got another tattoo of an X right here on my wrist. That's another stick and poke I got from the friend. It was all one night, or 2 nights rather, where a friend was like, yeah, I have a stick and poke, I can do it. I was like, all right, no problem. A stick and poke is nothing compared to what you think a normal tattoo is. Some people might say they're a lot easier. Some people might say they're a lot worse. It's just someone holding a needle, and they have to go in, and they have to go around it multiple times. It's not just one time and done. The X was easy, but some of the other stick and pokes I have, he had to go around it 5 times, and it took maybe an hour and a half. And when you're just getting a needle poked into you for an hour and a half, it is not a lot of fun, I would say. I wasn't having a great time, but I thought that was a lot easier to deal with than that mechanical needle, stabbing me at however many miles per hour. Stick and pokes are not necessarily as permanent. Typically they fade quickly, but as you can see, the ones I do have are still there, and they still look as fresh, I would say, as the ones I got professionally. The next tattoo is another stick and poke. It is a peace and love sign. I was big on peace and love. Really, when I got into college, I was always like, peace and love. I don't say it as much now. It used to be a big phrase of mine. And I drew, Neumann had an event here, and you could paint on rocks. And I wasn't the type of person to paint on rocks, but I went, and I had no idea what to draw. And I thought, you know what? Peace and love, man, peace and love. So I drew a heart with the peace sign in between it, and I kept that rock. And when my friend was going to do the stick and poke for me, he said, well, what do you want to do? And lo and behold, I'm looking at a rock with my own drawing on it. And I say, you know what? We're gonna do a little bit of a peace and love sign. And I brought the rock, he drew my drawing on a piece of paper, and then he stick and poked it on me. So that one's kind of special because I drew it, and that's why it looks horrible, but it's okay because it, peace and love. Why are you gonna be mad at me? Peace and love, so I love that tattoo. And the next one is I got at that same tattoo shop where they do the $20 tattoos. Because it's Friday the 13th, they have a lot of tattoos symbolizing 13 or the number 13. And the number 13 is huge in my family. And they had a tattoo one day, and the tattoo was the 13 in Roman numerals. And I said, this is an easy pick. The pain is not one thing that keeps me going back at all. What keeps me going back is honestly, it's the title in the show, written in ink. I love stories. I love being able to tell stories. I love hearing stories. And I think that tattoos are a great way to tell your story and to hear others as well. And for me, I love reflecting on where I've been and thinking about where I'm gonna go. And tattoos for me is one way to do that. Other than that, I'm Sean Carroll, and this was me, written in ink.